Hey everybody, Corey down here, and this is my quick guide to multiplayer if you haven't played before or are just getting into Across the Obelisk. TLDR, yes, I highly recommend multiplayer. It's going to be a much better experience than single player, especially if you want to lessen the load on yourself for learning the game, since you're going to be pretty much playing 4 characters in Slay the Spire at the same time versus learning 1 or 2. So let me get into the basics here. I would say if you're planning on playing multiplayer, you're going to want to have free time for this because it's going to be a long journey. The average adventure mode takes about 4 hours to complete, but most early runs are going to take 1 to 2, but still treat it like a Dungeons and Dragons night when you get your group together. If you're looking for people to play with, I recommend going over here to this spot in the main menu, clicking on the Discord button, and then joining the LFG channel because there's a lot of friendly players that are willing to help out and join your games. And one more thing to note is don't worry about holding people back or not having enough ranks to play. The default mode's perfectly fine enough just to get by with the starting deck, starting everything. So apart from that, let's go on to the next thing. So I did want to talk about the 3 modes. I talked about adventure mode being about 4 hours on average. You'll want to make your most reliable player probably the host, because he's going to be the one with access to the save files if anybody needs to drop out and you need to save the game and continue with other people. You're going to want to have somebody who's able to either A, be on to play, or B, be able to give somebody else in the party the save file. This might change in the future, so don't quote me on that one. And then Obelisk mode and weekly modes, they're much shorter modes. They're going to last about an hour or 2 hours, so definitely hit those up if you don't have the time to go for a full adventure run. And then whenever you click join a multiplayer game or host a multiplayer game, it's going to ask you what server you get on, so you're going to want to pick the same server as your friends. If you're creating, you definitely want to make sure you have private room checked if you're creating for friends, or if you're playing with random people, you can just unclick that, but I highly recommend just putting a password on everything. It makes things so much easier. And then here's the main character menu, and it's going to be up to 2 to 4 players. You can split the party however you want. You can select who controls who. Right now it's going to be me and my friend Tsubaki. He's a great guy. Love Tsubaki. And we're going to want to pick our characters. And then he's going to have his, see the green dots there? That means he's readied up and we'll be able to do the adventure. You can enter game seats at the bottom right. You can change your madness at the bottom. Below that. And then when you're in multiplayer, you're going to have 75 shards in gold per character that you own. So I'm going to be starting with 150 gold/shards, and he's going to be starting with 150 gold/shards depending on his perks or not. And one more thing to note before you start the game is if anybody in the game is looking to unlock a character, do not pick that character, as they won't show up to give out their quest to unlock them. So another thing you can check here in the options is a follow the leader mode, which will automatically follow along with the leader so you guys aren't fighting over things. If there happens to be you choose 2 different paths or accidentally choose different paths, this is just the leader gets to choose everything. It's a really nice option to have, but I think it's more fun to just go crazy with it. And then I also really wanted to highlight this give golden shards button, because that's really not that common to know that you guys each have your individual shards in gold. Like right now I'm playing Reginald and I've run out of shards, but right above my head there is going to be a give golden shards button. So what I'm going to ask Tsubaki to do for me is I need to upgrade my 3rd heal so it costs less. So I went into chat and I asked Tsubaki, hey, can I borrow some shards? He was nice enough to give me 10 more than I needed, and as you can see here, I'm able to upgrade my 3rd heal. And that's going to be very helpful to do, is ask your teammates for help when you need to afford something that's going to help out the whole team. Anything else I want to touch on? Besides that, don't believe so. 2 other big rules is I'm going to go into the combat and show turn order. At the top here, you have some, if you're ever curious about like when you're going to go in the turn, up here at the top it goes from left to right, and it shows your character speeds. Andron's going to go first with a 21, then Magnus, and then Evelyn with an 11, and Reginald's going to go after all the enemies with a 10. And then the other thing is, you can notice right here, also above, oh, I'm just going to point my wing at it. There is a little character face in multiplayer, and with that, you're able to use emotes, which our characters are both using right now. Really nice feature. And for the last rule of multiplayer, I guess I should have been labeling all of these like different numbers. But I think the biggest part of multiplayer is you're going to just want to have fun, and also probably dedicate somebody to reading and narrating out the game for you. Because when somebody's narrating the game, it makes it 20% better at least. So those are my quick tips for multiplayer. Can't believe this video's 6 minutes long. Hope you enjoyed this little crash course in the morning, and highly recommend you play multiplayer. Join the Discord if you need people to play with, but have fun. And remember to brush your teeth at night and in the morning. Brush your teeth a lot. It's good for you. Bye. Have a great one. Bye.